The latest game from Alan Wake and Quantum Break creators Remedy is one of the weirdest games of E3, and potentially one of the best. Game preview: Captain Spirit is a free teaser for Life is Strange 2. Finnish developer Remedy has been around for a long time now, with games dating back to the mid-90s. They're best known for the first two Max Payne titles, as well as Alan Wake and the more recent Quantum Break. They definitely have their fans, but we've never really counted ourselves amongst them, as despite their undoubted talent they've always struggled to combine action and storytelling into a satisfying whole. But we have a strong feeling that Control may be their best game yet. Quantum Break was frustrating for us, because despite having some excellent third-person action, it was all suffocated beneath a turgid time travel plot that constantly dragged down the pacing with dull characters and nonsensical plotting. The story behind Control also makes no logical sense, but this time that's on purpose. Control boasts of being part of the new weird genre of fiction that, we'll be honest and say, we've never heard of before, but which seems to be the modern equivalent of the sort of weird tales that H.P. Lovecraft became famous for. The excellent Netflix movie Annihilation was used as a primary example of the genre, and you could see a direct influence in some of the visuals in the game, such as the strange rainbow effects that seem to come out of nowhere. The plot behind Control is purposefully confusing but involves a secret U.S. government agency called the Bureau of Control, which main character Jesse Faden, Beth Wilder from Quantum Break, has suddenly found herself the director of. The Bureau is implied to be a sort of larger-scale X-Files, caught in a struggle with an entity, or entities, known as Hiss, which has corrupted many agents and infected the reality-shifting innards of the Bureau's main offices. Or at least we think that was the gist of it. Remedy were purposefully vague when describing the plot, and the nature of the new weird genre seems to demand no less. But in terms of gameplay, things are easier to pigeonhole. Previous Remedy games have generally been very linear, but Control is a Metroidvania, with Jessie learning various psychic powers as she progresses and engaging in side quests and backtracking where necessary. The 20-minute demo we saw contained 4 Force-like powers: a shield, telekinesis, a dash-dodge move, and levitation. All the powers can be upgraded as the game goes on, with levitation seeming to change just in the course of the demo, from at first barely allowing you to float over gaps to having you fly around without limitation in a boss battle. Jessie also has a strange transforming gun, which can reconfigure as what are essentially a pistol or a shotgun, with hints of other forms to be unlocked later on. The basic gunplay seems to be similar to Quantum Break, but the telekinetic ability is very powerful in one of many aspects of the game that recalls fan-favorite PlayStation 2 games Psyops and Second Sight. Remedy has also promised that Control will be their first multiplayer console game, although there was no hint as to how that would work in practice. What we did get a clue to, though, was just how odd the game gets, with bodies floating in the air and strange zombified agents that attack you. The art design is gorgeous too, with great use of color to juxtapose against the dull gray of the office building you're exploring. The oldest house is not what it seems though, and according to Remedy it's bigger on the inside. We weren't sure if this was a reference to the TARDIS or House of Leaves, with several impossible environments that have not been shown off yet. There was a glimpse of one though, with some strange mold a caretaker is trying to clear up on the floor, and which seems to be another nod to Annihilation. One of the weirdest moments in the demo is a collection of objects of power, which seem to be everyday objects imbued with some sort of otherworldly power or purpose. Jessie walks past one agent in a large glass case who complains that he's been made to stare at the refrigerator in front of him for over 24 hours, but is terrified to stop for fear of being eaten by it. Remedy are careful to make clear that Control is not a horror game, but the strange atmosphere was palpable even in the hands-off demo surrounded by a dozen other journos. Control seems to have everything going for it: a unique premise, excellent visual design, and a break away from the linear structure that has constrained the company's previous work. Control might not be the most high-profile game to have been unveiled at E3, but it was definitely one of the most exciting. Formats: Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Publisher: 505 Games. Developer: Remedy. Release date: 2019. Email: gamecentral@metro.co.uk. Leave a comment below, and follow us on Twitter.